You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to the a special edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo on Saturday. As you can tell, I'm dealing with a cold, so I don't have much to say. Well, I do, and we'll get to in a second, but we got a lot to talk about when it comes to college football. So it's an OTA Hawkeye Report podcast dual event, if you will. Joining me now, my good friend Tom Kakert in Ames, fresh off a Iowa State 16-13 victory. Tommy, I feel like the game was similar to my voice today during the pregame. Iowa kept grinding, tried to get there, and it just kind of gave out at the end. Similar to my voice today on the pregame show. So I guess your opening headlines, your opening thoughts about Iowa's 16-13 loss to the Cyclones.
I think it's one of those. It depends how your glass is. Is it half full or is it half empty? I think that's what you have to look at this. If it's, do you look at this as, gosh, this is 3 of 4 losing to Iowa State, and it's it's not the same script as last year, but it's, camaraderie, hitting another field goal from 54 yards to beat you at the end. It wasn't a blown 10-point lead at home this time, which is better, I guess, but it's not really great. But just, you look at it like that, and the offense continues to struggle. Iowa's got 127 yards passing in 2 games, and they only scored 13 points today. Or you look at it from the other perspective of, you played the number 16 team in the country, who's probably going to be top 15 next week. You played them on their own field, and you played them to a 1-possession game, and you had a chance to potentially win it late if you could have executed better. But a late field goal from 54 yards ends up beating you. So you look at it from that perspective and you go, okay, maybe it's not too bad. So it just depends how you look at things. I know that the Sharks are out and they are circling for the head coach, and frustration. And I empathize with it. I understand it, but it's also, Iowa State is pretty good. And you might want to just admit that as well, that they have a really good football team. They have the better quarterback, the quarterback that could make the plays late. And the moment that I knew that Iowa State was probably going to win this game was when that ball gets tipped in the air. Yep. And it falls into the Iowa State receiver's hands, because when Jack Campbell was there, he scoops it up and picks it off, or Sebastian Castro picks off a pass there. It's just, or the muff punt and Iowa gets it. Those are the plays that, when it's right for Iowa, they make that play, they pick that off, and they probably go on and win the game. They didn't. Yeah. And Iowa State caught it, and that's when I go, I think I know how this one's going to end. And It ended pretty much the way you thought it would.
It's funny, Tom, because there was a play like that in the first half as well, was there was an Iowa State fumble, and it reminded me of the Jack Campbell scoop and score, and it bounced back to Iowa State. Yeah. The bounces did go Iowa State's way for the most part today.
Matt, let me throw the other thing. Weegan slips, falls down on the interception, and they capitalize on that play. I mean, and they score on that play, where Iowa only gets 3 points when they recover that punt that goes off the Iowa State guy's wrist. That's just those are the little things that in the past, when Iowa wins these games, it's because they capitalized. This one, they couldn't make those definitive plays, score touchdowns. They settled for field goals. Iowa State was able to score a touchdown on one of those plays, and that's really kind of the difference in the game.
Tom Kakert joining me right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo and the Hawkeye Report podcast. And again, I apologize for the raspy voice. I am not talking for about 48 hours after this. So this is my last thing of many to do lately. So Tom, I want to talk about Mark Gronowski because, and I'm going to let you talk a lot more than I will, but I felt like he turned a corner. And let me give you an example. This is an analogy that's maybe a bad analogy, but I did TV for 25 years and I was used to it and it was no big deal. And I was comfortable doing that. And I was nervous for the first Iowa pregame show last week. And it took me a couple segments to kind of feel comfortable and get my flow back to me. Much bigger scale with Mark Gronowski, but that's what maybe last week and the first couple series today felt like. But you saw in the second quarter, he started to get a flow to him. He started to play better. Second half played really well until the last series, which we'll talk about. So I don't know. There's two different ways to look at Mark Gronowski right now, and I know some numbers don't look good at all, and I get that. But I felt like he played better. I think Iowa fans just expected that we wouldn't be looking at a quarterback trying to play better week 2. We'd look at a quarterback maybe in full stride by week 2. Your thoughts of Mark Gronowski today?
Glass full. Phil, is it full or half empty? He certainly played better than last week, but let's also admit last week was a low bar to pass because he did not play well last week. He was not good last week. So let's establish that none of us are saying he was, the second coming of Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or anybody. I mean, he was better this week, but he wasn't great. I mean, I think he's averaging like 3.5 yards per completion or something. I mean, it's not great. Or it might be attempt. My math, I'm, scrambling with math right now, but 13 of 24 for 83 yards is not going to set the world on fire. And there was this tweet from this analytics thing. It's like he's thrown for 127 yards. It's the lowest number from anybody in the Big Ten in like 20 years, 30 years. It's something crazy. It's just, and depending on what Rice does tonight, and again, we're recording this at, 5:00 in the afternoon on Saturday, but if Rice was the bottom passing team last week, and if they could, Iowa could be 134 out of 134 passing in the country. Could be the absolute bottom heading into the UMass game. So that's what concerns you. But and I know people lay this at the feet of Kirk. Oh, Kirk's conservative. Kirk is the man, he's the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. I thought Tim Lester was a little conservative today. They did take the shot, and they got, like Mark said after the game, he's like, hey, if they don't have that penalty, maybe that's a 75-yard touchdown to Seth Anderson. And he might be right. It might have been a 75-yard touchdown. And then we're thinking about this completely differently. But the Iowa State guy did the smart thing. He was beat, and he just grabbed him and, committed the penalty and give up the 15 instead of 75. That's smart. So you can look at it from different perspectives. I thought the run game, here's my concern too, is they started slow again. This is a second straight game where they have just not done a whole lot. Although last week they did have a good drive on the first drive. I will say that. They did have a good, solid drive, the first drive, but today it was not great. It was a rough go. I thought Jazz Patterson gave them a boost. 11 carries, 60 yards. He was running hard. I thought Gronowski did a nice job on the ground. He had that nice, after the muff punt, had that nice 13-yard run to wrap up the quarter and help them propel them, to get points on the board. Terrell Washington Jr. was not non-factor starting out and didn't get anything going. Xavier Williams I thought was okay, solid, but I thought Jazz earned himself a little more playing time. I thought Jacob Gill was solid, but he also there was like 3, 4, maybe 5, depending on how you count them, drops in this game. Gill had a drop. Zach Gortworth, my guy, he had a drop. There were some drops out there today, and that's part of the equation too. And they were makeable drops. It wasn't like, oh, you touched it, you've got to catch it. It was, hey, that hit me right in the hands. I need to make that play. So yeah, and then we should talk about the injuries too, since I'm helping you save your voice.
Yeah, go for it, my friend. Go, tag, you're it. Go.
So Ostrenga's hurt. I mean, I think he's going to be out for quite a while.
Yeah,
he was
such a good dude too. Just a really good dude.
Yeah, we love Addy. He's a good dude, and just a solid guy all around. And it's so unfortunate that he hurt that ankle, and he was in a boot. He was on crutches on the sidelines. The way Kirk talked, it seems like it's going to be a while. We may not see him till November. It's kind of thing. We'll see. Kirk didn't say that, but that's just kind of the tone I got from KF. The other concerns, Dunker was in and out of there today, and not in there late. But I asked Kirk about him, and he thought it didn't seem like it would be a long-term thing. But do you heal him up against UMass next week?
Yes.
A game you should win pretty easily.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah, and you can just play Doetzler at right tackle and put Lauk at left tackle. Bo Stevens also was out, and saw him getting his ankle all addressed after the game, left ankle. So he's dealing with something. I'd sit him out, give Leighton Jones a start and let him see what he can do. And that's probably what I would do next week with both those guys, because you want them healthier for Rutgers and Indiana and Penn State than you really need them for a game that is meaningful, because a win in Kirk sets the record for wins by a Big Ten coach. But still, it's it's a challenge. I mean, they're going to have guys step up.
No, absolutely. Tom, I wanted to talk about the running backs real fast, because we sat in the press box game 1. It was nice up there. You guys are lucky. And I said to you, I'm like, there's Jazz. I expected to see more of him. And we didn't see him till the third quarter, I don't think, against Albany. And he did. He provided a spark. Where are you with that backfield? Because it seems like the hot hand is going to be the guy they go with each week.
Yeah, and that hot hand was not the starter the first 2. Well, I shouldn't say that. Kamari, I thought, was doing okay week 1. He had 3 carries for 22 yards, so he was doing a pretty solid job. But it was clear Xavier Williams was the guy week 1. This week it was Jazz, and they kind of went with him. So I think they are going to ride the hot hand. But what do you do next week? Do you start Washington Jr.? I don't know. We'll see. Do you start Williams? Do you give Jazz a shot? Is Kamari going to be back next week? That we don't know. It seemed like maybe that would be unlikely that he would be back. So if he's not ready to be back, then you go a different direction, and maybe it's Jazz, maybe it's somebody else.
Tom, from about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter till 8 minutes to go in the game, Iowa dominated. I mean, Iowa State didn't move the football. Iowa moved the football, played really well, kept the football. Let's talk about that last 8 minutes, because you mentioned the caromed pass that gets 17 yards and a first down. I looked at Charlie, my son, when that happened. I said that might be the game, and it wasn't the game, but boy, that's just a huge play. And then the final drive, 2 sacks when you can't take 2 sacks. What happened? You're at Jack Trice. Was it great coverage? Was nobody open? It wasn't like they got such great pressure that Gronowski had no chance, was it? It didn't. I felt like he held it a little long.
It was.
Take me through what you saw from the press box.
Held it long, and it didn't seem like guys were getting open. And that's been one of the things that when people talk about the pass game or lack thereof for the Iowa football team, I think a lot of it goes to the complaints go to scheme, go to quarterback play, and there's some of that, I'm sure. There's some of that. But I think maybe the thing we're underrating the most is that, and the thing that's been an issue, and the thing that I thought maybe they had addressed a little bit more than maybe they had, is their receivers struggle to get open. They struggle to get separation in the passing game, and that is a challenge. I mean, you're a Lions fan. You know what that's like. When they finally got guys like Amon-Ra and Williams and guys like that can create separation and get open. Even a Sam Laporta. I mean, it's just those guys make a difference. They can create separation.
What happened to, and I'm not calling you out, Chad out, myself, everyone thought their wide receiver depth was really good, and if nobody's getting open. I know Reese is hurt, and I think that's a bigger deal than people think. And Addison Ostranger got hurt.
Sure.
And so I think if you look at the season, that's probably 2 of your top 4 targets going into the year, if you had to rank them out, that aren't playing today. So I get that, but I think there's probably some frustrations on fans' part, because we were trying to figure out which of the 8 guys, and right now you're just looking for one guy to step up and be the man, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and that's part of this issue is, are they designing things that are not getting guys open? Do they need to redesign things? Do they need more crossers? Do they need to do something different? I don't know. That's my concern, is what are you doing to try and create some more openings or some more opportunities for the receivers to get open, and I'm not sure what those are. I don't know. But they've got to get it figured out before you get into Big Ten season, because once you get in there, you gotta find a way to get things going. And they didn't. The other thing, they just couldn't get those key turnovers today. They got the one, but the punt thing, that was just more kind of a freaky mistake than anything else. There's the one play where Jaden Harrell knocked it loose. That would have been a huge turnover, but Iowa State recovered it. It's just the ball bounced for Iowa State today, and that's not making an excuse. That's not trying to say anything different, but it's just like, there was a ball on the ground and Iowa State recovered, and there was a ball that got tipped in the air and Iowa State caught it for a 17-yard gain.
And a huge first down.
The ball bounced. Yeah, it was a 3rd and 4 play, by the way. We got to remember that too. It was 3rd and 4, and they're probably going to have to punt if that hits the ground. So, and Iowa will get the ball back with, a couple, 3.5 minutes left, something like that. So there's a lot that just went Iowa State's way. The ball bounced their way today, and, credit to them. They, but I do understand the frustration that Iowa fans have, because it seems like we're seeing the same thing over and over again in terms of the quarterback play is just not great, and the passing game is not great, and you're losing games that they've lost their last 10 against ranked opponents. That's something too. But on the other hand, they just played the 16th ranked team in the country on their home field to a field goal game, and the guy had to hit a 54-yarder for the second straight year to beat you.
It's funny because I feel
There's
like
that
for the
too.
second straight year, and I know there's Iowa State fans watching this as well, if you're watching on OTA, it feels like for the second straight year, Tom, that Iowa played better. Iowa State won the game. I want to talk to you about the post game, and then we'll take a quick break, and I want to talk a lot about the defense because I think underappreciated was the defense, and we'll talk about them on the other side of the break. But what was the post game like? What'd you get out of Mark Randazzo? What'd you get out of KF? What was the vibe, the thought process, the stuff that caught your ear after the game at Jack Trice Stadium?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything really too shocking other than, Gronowski, just talked about how they performed and how, felt like made some progress. And Kirk said the same thing about the offense, that he felt like Mark had a good week of practice, felt like things were better. And he was. I mean, he delivered the football better today. Was it perfect? No. Did he miss some passes? Yes. Did he hold on the ball too long sometimes? Probably. But overall, it was a step in the right direction. Now it's just not the step you wanted to take. You wanted it to be more of a winning direction. You wanted it to be more points on the board. But Iowa State's good. They're a good team. I mean, they may they're in the race for the college football playoff and a Big 12 title.
Yeah.
You lose by 3 on the road to that. That's not terrible. But is Iowa State a great team? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Tom,
I got to see more of them.
We're a weird ricochet completion and a field goal away from this entire show being a lot different. Because I was getting ready to hop on here and be like, since the 5-minute mark in the second quarter, for the rest of the game, the offense started clicking and the running game started clicking, and it was a typical Iowa victory. And obviously it comes down in close games to figure out a way to win. And give Matt Campbell and the Cyclones credit, Tommy, because that's the games that Iowa usually wins. That's what their MO is. Stay close, figure out a way to win late. And it was Iowa State for the second straight season, third time in 4 years, keeping the Cy-Hawk trophy. We got more to get to. We're going to take a quick break. I want to talk to you about the defense because I think there was a lot of positives on the defense as well. So we'll talk about the defense, what's next with UMass, and a whole bunch more. Tom Kakert, Matt Randazzo, off the air with Matt Randazzo, and a post-game edition of the Hawkeye Report podcast. 2 in 1. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Man, does Godfathers sound good, Tommy? Our good friend Andy Furman. Obviously not
Andy
happy
Furman,
with the results of the
goat.
day today, but if you're an Iowa fan and you're bummed out, get to Godfathers in Silvis and get some good food. If you're an Iowa State fan, you're watching this on OTA, go celebrate at Godfather's. Great food, and Andy is a awesome dude. Matt Randazzo and Tom Kakert breaking down the Cy-Hawk game. I'll talk a little Illini football a little later in the show for the OTA audience. I won't make the Hawkeye Report listeners listen to that. I'll probably get some trouble for that as well. Breaking down the Cy-Hawk game. Again, it was Iowa State 16, Iowa 13. I want to thank you guys for dealing with my voice. Thank you for dealing with it during the pregame. We got through it. I had several people reach out saying, way to go, way to grind it out. So we played hurt today, but we got through it. The Iowa Hawkeyes didn't. They lose by 3. Tom Kakert still in Ames as we speak, as we kind of break it down. We talked a lot about the offense early, Tommy. The defense, I thought, was really good. And correct me if I'm wrong, the only touchdown Iowa State scored was off the interception. So besides the interception and the short field and the quick touchdown, they held Iowa State out of the end zone and to 16 points. I thought the secondary played really good. I thought TJ Hall played really good. I thought they got pressure when they needed. I thought the linebackers flew around to the football. I was impressed with the Iowa defense. And I don't know for sure if I was going to be. I thought they played well, but I didn't know they played that well. Your thoughts on the Iowa defense?
Yeah, I thought they were really solid. They limited Iowa State to 238 yards of total offense.
Yeah.
Rocco Becht was 18 of 27 for 134 and a touchdown, and that was on that one drive where he, did that hit the 2-yarder. They only really completed one explosive, that 35-yarder to Eskidil, I think is how you say his name. Anyway, they hit him for 35, beat Sean Lee on that play, but TJ Hall was great. I mean, 3-4 passes broken up. I think one of them might have been Intringer and not TJ Hall. So the negative side is they didn't really get to the quarterback that much. They didn't get the sacks. There was a couple times where they let Rocco Becht out of jail, and tackling early was a little bit sloppy, I thought. But otherwise, really solid effort. I mean, Jaden Harrell had 9 tackles, Carson Shire and Wampa had 7. So I thought those guys got after it. They did a nice job, given the circumstances.
No, Tom, if you would have read me that line for Rocco Becht at 10 o'clock this morning, I would have said, sign me up.
Iowa won.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the defense played extremely well. It's UMass next. Obviously, one of the 2 games on the schedule, you're like, okay, that should be pretty easy. But with that said, Albany wasn't a work of art, and Iowa had to battle a little bit in that one. And now it kind of moves the record to next week. I know that Kirk Ferentz wanted to get it today. It would have meant a lot more with the trophy game and all that kind of stuff. The record next week is to be had. Thoughts on that as we get ready for next week?
Yeah, then it's 206 for KF, and he would 100% rather had it today. He would have enjoyed it. He would have loved getting number 206 against the Cyclones instead of a game that they're going to win against a bad UMass team. So, but it's still a record. It's still worth celebrating. Still worth honoring Cap for all of his accomplishments and what he's been able to do over the years with this program. But boy, it's the pitchforks and torches are out right now. I mean, people are frustrated that they've lost 3 or 4 to Iowa State. They just are.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, I understand why they're frustrated, but I don't know. Sometimes they don't like losing to the rivalry because the rivalry tends to find you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The people get after you then, and they talk trash to you. You got to deal with your coworkers or your relatives that are Cyclone fans for another year on the football field. I totally get it, but it's to borrow a Ferencism, that's football.
Yeah.
It just is.
Tom,
The ball bounced Iowa State's way today.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
I think one thing I was talking to some of my kids about was, yeah, it's not good to lose and you don't want to lose. And it takes away any margin for error maybe, but like everything's still on the table if you're the Iowa Hawkeyes. We both talked, if you win 10 games, go 10-2, and this was going to be one of those games. There was like 4 that we kind of circled with Iowa State and Oregon, Penn State, Indiana. Those are the 4 that you had to win two of the 4. Yes, the other games aren't layups by any stretch of the imagination, but this was one of the games was this the 3rd hardest game on the schedule? Was it the 2nd hardest game on the schedule?
It might be. I'd say the 3rd. I think Penn State and Oregon are better than Iowa State, but being on the road, it's their toughest road game.
Yep. Yeah. So I think it's not one of those things where it's like, yes, I get the frustration and all that kind of stuff, and people are just going to say Randazzo's, waving the flag because, he does the pregame and all that kind of stuff. But I think there's a lot to be said that this team can get better. The defense is really good. The offensive line is playing great. Tom, we just got to figure out that passing game. And it's like, I get it. It's a broken record. I understand it. I get it. I know people are getting frustrated. Fans are getting frustrated. But again, we're a weird bounce away from getting on here and talking about how the offense came to life for the last 2.5 quarters and they controlled the football and they did great things and all those kind of things. And the defense dominated. I want to talk to you about special teams before I let you go. A lot of good, some bad, which isn't like Iowa when it comes to special teams. Obviously, Drew Stevens making field goals. Reese Dakin was good, had one bad one. I think the first one was a bad one. Kind of shanked the first one.
Yeah, and he got a roll. He got really 2 bad punts. The second one was a bad one, but it got that nice 25-yard roll.
Yeah, and then
he didn't get too clean. Weejan had a rough day.
Yeah, and now he was just uncharacteristic. Was he? I just felt like he was trying to do so much.
Foul. Yeah, I think so too. In-state kid who wants to beat the Cyclones last try, and he picks up that personal foul that put him behind the 8 ball on the first drive. Misfields a punt basically. Should have ran up and caught it maybe. Or gotten in front of it quicker, and it took a quick bounce, and then he fields it way back, and then he tries to sneak around the edge and doesn't get there, and slips on the pass that was intercepted. He just had one of those days that was just tough. So felt bad for Weege. He's a good player, really talented kid, and he'll have better days.
Oh, he will later in the year. We'll be talking about how great a game he had. So, and then that happens, and that's unfortunate as well. Anything else we're missing before I let you get out of here and go enjoy dinner with your son? Or are you just heading home? What's the plan for you?
We'll see. I got to figure that out yet. We got to figure that out yet.
All right,
so,
are we missing anything?
But it was. I don't think so. I think everybody should take a deep breath. I empathize and understand the frustration, but I talked to our friend Pat after the game, and he's like, "Look, they played played a good game against nationally ranked top 15-ish team in the country on their field and almost won." And
Yeah.
there's something to be said about that too. But I get the frustration with the lack of a passing game and the lack of playmaking on that side of the ball in the air, in particular. I get it. I do. I understand. I understand the frustrations that fans are having.
Yeah, no, I do as well. Is it probably the fact that, I mean, Iowa can't beat Iowa State with Pat Anger in the booth? I mean, that's still a thing.
Yep.
That's out there. I mean, you can't discredit
Still a
it.
thing.
You can't discredit it until
Still
it goes
a
away.
thing.
So, all right, Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing most of the talking while I get through this as well.
Okay.
If you are listening to this on the Hawkeye Report podcast, thank you guys for listening. Well, Tommy will be back with more this week. Myself maybe as well. Busy week as well coming up. And if you're watching this on OTA, hang there for a second. We're going to talk about some other college football as well. So we'll be back right after this if you're hanging out on OTA, a special edition of OTA.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your mobile party experience today. Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here, a special Saturday edition of OTA. I apologize for my voice. I've been talking way too much. 5 shows a day, not a day, God bless me, a week. The post-game stuff that we're doing, pre-game radio, and a cold. And I did some PA this week as well. So I've been talking too much and I got a cold, and this is the result. So I appreciate the people listening on the radio today for the pregame show, grinded it out and got it done. And then we had to get on and talk some football today. So thank you to Tom Kakert. We just checked out the Cy-Hawk game, kind of wrapped that whole thing up. So go back and check that out if you're an Iowa fan, just checking the show out right now. We appreciate it. If you want to go take a peek at that as well, that's awesome. If you're an Iowa State fan as well, that's a cool thing to do as well. So plenty to be proud of for your Cyclone, and Iowa real close and almost there till the very end as well. But I want to talk a little bit about the Illini, before we got off the air. No pun intended. A big game for Illinois, going out to Duke to take on the Blue Devils. Not a great environment. It's not for football at Duke, but Illinois turned a close game at halftime into a blowout, winning 45-19, the final score. And it was great because we got to check out a couple local kids here in the Quad Cities do great things. Hats off to Cole Rusk, catching a touchdown from one of his best friends, Luke Altmaier. Of course, Cole was out last year with an injury after transferring to Illinois. So great to get him back. Great to see him back out there on the field. And if you know Cole Rusk, you know what a good dude he is. One of my favorite people, comes up 2 straight years, takes part in my dad's golf outing. I had captains the Illini team, which is awesome. In fact, Luke Altmaier was here 2 years ago as well. So we'll take you to the kind of show you the touchdown real quick as well. Second quarter, 7-6 game. And you can see what kind of weapon Cole Rusk, the former Rock Island standout, can be. High pointing this one and bringing down the touchdown from Luke Altmaier. Was able to text Cole a little bit, congratulate him. And as you can imagine, really excited about not just the touchdown, but the performance from the Illini today. And I think that's the big thing for the Illini, is that they played really, really well and did a lot of good things, especially in the second half, dominating the second half, pulling away for a victory, and kind of did the things that you expect a top 10 team to do on the road, to kind of wear teams down. I know that's something that Brett Bielema wants to do a lot of. So hats off to Cole Rusk, his first touchdown as a Fighting Illini. Hopefully the first of many when it comes to that as well. So 45-19, the final score again in that one. Cole Rusk with the touchdown. Luke Altmaier on the road, basically 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Did a great job. Just in command of that offense. The one touchdown by Cole Rusk, the only catch that he had on the day. But defensively, it was another Quad City standout, making several big plays, including this one right here. Again, close game in the third quarter. Duke looking to drive to tie the game, and there's Matthew Bailey, the former Moline product, knocking it out, the old peanut punch. I hated this as a Lions fan when I played the Bears, but great play there by Matthew Bailey. The Illini would recover. And yeah, Duke can score. And I think the Illini did a good job of, playing really good defense, especially in the second half. So they're now 2-0 in the season. 45-19, the final on that one. They get Western Michigan, I believe, at home next week. And then they go, on the road to Indiana, I think is what it is. I know it's Indiana after that. So some big games coming up, but obviously bigger games down the road. But they get Ohio State. That'll be a huge game. Indiana's a big game, but I'm pretty sure they don't play some good teams in the Big Ten. So a good day if you're Fighting Illini, and a lot to be proud of, proving that they are a top 10 team to go on the road against a Power 4 school and have that kind of performance was impressive. So we'll talk a lot more about the Illini coming up on a Monday edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Have an Illini expert or two joining me on Monday as well to kind of recap that. Hopefully I do have a show on Monday. Boy, I want to. It's the Monday after the Cy-Hawk showdown. The Monday after Illinois goes on the road and wins. Huge week 2 in high school football. The NFL off and going. Big day tomorrow. My Lions and Packers. Bears on Monday Night Football. So I want to talk about that as well. Got to get this voice back to feeling good. So I'm going to shut up for the rest of the day. Try not to yell at the TV too much tomorrow as the Lions and Packers play at 3:25, and then we'll get rocking and rolling on Monday once again. A lot of high school stuff on Monday and this week. Thank you to everybody who got into the Nest Guests Pick'em contest sponsored by a Hungry Hobo. Awesome stuff. A lot of entries. It's going to multiply big time throughout the year, but we'll let you know on Monday who won the Nest Guess. Between Ness and myself, right now I think Ness has the advantage. I picked Central Michigan. They went on the road, played well, but I'm pretty sure they lost. So Yeah, I think Ness has an early advantage, but we got a lot of different games coming up this week as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Also on Monday, a new segment, your drive of the week, high school wise. We're going to pick a signature drive of the week, brought to you by Skiles Driving Company. Or Skiles Driving School, excuse me. So excited to do that as well. I'm quickly looking. It was Central Michigan was only down by 7 in the third quarter. Of course, Central Michigan is the led by former Bettendorf standout Matt Drinkle, and a really good dude. Oh man, I almost had it. Good TV right here. All right, here we go. Why can't I find it? Let's see. There it is. Okay, I give up. Anyways, we'll get it found. We'll get it figured out. But I know they were losing in that game in the third quarter, 24-17. Anyways, my phone's acting up on me, so I am going to stop being stubborn and move on. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching a special post show of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Thank you to the guys on Twitter, everyone watching on X and Twitter. We appreciate that. Send your feedback our way, and we'll be back for a Monday edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo coming up Monday at 10 a.m. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the NFL tomorrow, and we'll talk to you guys soon.